it's party time. No, no, in all honesty, no. Well, I want to say, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Jan from New York City Saves Money is alongside again.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Jan, what happened yesterday is I got my dates crossed. So the video that went up Thursday night at 10:31 was supposed to go up tonight. I got my wires crossed. I had a busy day. I had a lot going on and I had lost track of the days. So that's what happened there. But that's okay. I know you guys enjoy us nonetheless. Um, Today, it's not really a whole lot to talk about. I did want to, it's going to be sort of a random chat, probably focusing on credit financial, and I'll explain about that. I have this story that I want to share. This particular person was with a credit card company, financial, whatever you want to call it. And one day they were able to use the card, and then all of a sudden, that ability to use the card because they had tried to make a transaction, it didn't go through. So they decided to take the liberty calling and find out. And they said, well, we have a mailing address for you, but we need a physical address. Okay, there's one little itty bitty problem. We all tend to go through this. People tend to move. We do at some point have been known, we move from one place to another. Well, if they have to have an immediate right then and there address, about the only thing you can use would be something like a hotel or extended stay, until, things, you know, get settled for the person that's trying to find permanent housing. Well, this person put in this information. They were told that they were able to send, a copy of their driver's license, social security number. They said to send a written, uh, something written out by the GM that they were staying there. But come to find out, they could have used one of their statements when they re up. Then the person calls back about 2 weeks later, come to find out that their account had been closed permanent. They said it was something by federal law that had to be required. But the funny thing is, when I think about myself, aside from this person, I've got a couple of credit card accounts, and they were never meticulous and item specific. They just wanted a address in order to mail any paper correspondence if there was anything important. But most of my mail, I would say 90-95% of it is paperless. I have to be the one to copy it if I want a paper copy of it. So that then I find out or hear around the way that this particular institution, credit card company, has had a bunch of different complaints. And, again, I know it's at their discretion, but come to find out, more people fell into the same circle as this one person did that had their account shut down. So, you know, I really don't see what the big deal is about a physical address. I would say a address of some type should be okay. The main purpose is to have a place where your mail can go. That's the main purpose, the way I see it. They apparently didn't see it that way. But you know what? I'm glad to know, and I do know the name of this company. I'm not going to share it, because I don't want to, exploit or anything, but I'll just say this. I never have any intention of what I just saw to ever have the want or urge to ever want a credit card from this company. But bottom line is this right here. It's taught me one thing. I won't be applying for any more uh, bank credit cards. Any more credit cards that I do apply for from here on will be through a credit union because you have a lower interest rate and you don't have all the fees associated like you do on a bank card. So, unfortunate that had to happen to that person. Jan, what is your how do you feel, or what is some of your input about this?
First of all, my take is, how unfortunate, for that person. And yet, Steve, another reminder that all of us need to do our homework and put a little more effort into our own information and not presume that these credit card companies, not all credit card companies are the same, just for the record.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Some are very predatory and do not have your best interest in mind at all. But beside that, every once in a while, it is imperative to check the status of your own report. And I'll tell you why. I had looked up that company that shall remain nameless, that you mentioned to me about that person.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me look up about that company. There were so many complaints of people that their cards were shut off, okay, shut down, no explanation, no nothing. How did they come to find out? They would check their, let's say, credit report, and they presume, let's say they always thought they had 4 credit cards. Then all of a sudden they see 3 credit cards on their credit report. They're like, wait a minute, I have another card. What's this about?
Yeah.
And they notice that other card was closed down or whatever. Then they do their homework and they find out that's like locking the barn door after the cow is gone. No one told them. So it goes back to, again, being proactive, being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You have to read your information. I mean, you personally, I know that you are diligent about stuff like that as much as, and me too. You have to do it. We have to do it. We have to remain proactive. But you know what's interesting, Steve? Some people still think they have to pay to get their credit report. That
Mm-mm.
is not true, right?
No, you can go to a website. Every single consumer once a year is entitled to one free copy of your credit report from Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. You go to annualcreditreport.com and just you'll probably have to go to the menu thing or however it is, or look at it's pretty self-explanatory. Follow the prompts. You have one of two choices. You can either have it mailed to you, or you can have it looked, or you can look at it where you're at. You can have it come up on your um, laptop or computer, and then you can run a copy of it off yourself. But I did that one year. The only thing you got to be careful about is, depending on how big your credit file could be, all the paper you would probably use and the ink. So do keep that in mind when you choose that. Now, if there's a way that you can go in and save the file on your computer and then you could revert back to it at a later time, that might be okay too. But most of the time, I have always had it mailed to me. It takes about 5 days, maybe a week to get it. So look at your credit report. Everybody needs to look at because how do you not know you may have a little bit of an error on there? They could have a wrong
Right.
address down. They could have your wrong house number down. And all of that information, especially on a credit report, needs to be 100% accurate.
That's right. That's why it pays to look, and I so agree with you. This is a very important information that we're sharing with people. In my honest, really, it really is. And I want to revert to something slightly different, and it's about reading your mail. Okay, whether it's on paper, whether it's in your email. Sometimes some people are more tentative to physical hard copied mail as opposed to email. I
Hmm.
like to think that I'm both. Just a moment. Hang on, Steve. You could continue on that in 1 second.
So I do urge all of you guys to go and request that annual credit report and see what's on it. Who knows? Maybe if you've had the opportunity
Hmm.
that you wanted to go and apply for a loan, but you know you're in good standing, everything's good, your numbers are good, but you come back and get denied, there has to be a reason why. Go back and look at your credit report. I had that happen to me one time with a department store. This was back in 2001. I found out about it about a year later. It's a little quick story. I bought some merchandise. I got one of their credit cards, and I found out I didn't like the product, so I took it back, and I'd had it less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
I got a refund on it, and I asked the person behind the desk, at customer service, so when will I see a credit come back? Oh, you should get one within 36 to 48 hours. I didn't think nothing of it. So then, come to find out, I tried to go and get a little bit of a credit line increase on one of my cards. I got turned down.
Hmm.
So then I had some other credit cards. I had let's see, what was it? I think it was a Big and Tall store credit card. I think there was a store called Parisian. That's no more Parisian. They were around. Well, anyway, a couple of three of these cards was under one umbrella of company. And the lady over the phone says, "Well, I noticed you have this one credit card where you were delinquent on making a payment." I said, "How can I be delinquent on making a payment?" I said, "I returned the merchandise back to them." So they did some investigating and come to find out that I was correct.
Oh, wow.
It was a car stereo for my car. I just wasn't happy with the model that I had. So they took it off my credit report. And I said, not only that, I said, send me a letter that you did it.
Good.
So I had a way of backing it up if they tried to pull any shenanigan on me. So I did that. It cleared up but what I did is what it was is, one time I was eating at a restaurant, lo and behold, a credit card customer service representative agent actually sat down right beside me, and I got to know her a little bit, in conversation. She told me, if you have a credit card you haven't used in about a 6 to 8 month time frame, she said, get rid of it. She said, you can have too much open line of credit, and that can also hurt against you too. So then that's when I found out about that small little negative remark from, the company that I bought the car stereo. They're a very well-known department store. I'm just not going to mention.
Yeah, that's very interesting, like about the inactivity and how even some companies that issue cards actually charge an inactivity fee
Mhm.
for certain situations like that. You know what, Steve? It just boils back again down to being attentive. This is why I personally, Jan, am not a fan of automatic bill payments. I'm not saying they're not convenient, but let's say that there was a change in a bill, like a big increase. And this is why I believe in budget buffers, but that's another show.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to the person that never pays attention, has the automatically, thing, they don't even read a statement, they don't notice that bills go up, they could lose money from, let's say, a bounce payment. So yeah, I like to look at a physical bill, or at least make sure that's why I was about to say when that person had called up before, that some people are more hard copy letter readers, some people are more email readers. I believe in being both because they're
Mhm.
both forms of correspondence, and most of the time, not always, most of the time, the stuff is pretty important information.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a funny thing about, and also, unfortunately, I think everybody should have at least one line of credit, but I hate to come back and say this. Not everybody's responsible enough to carry a credit card because they think in their mind's eye, "Ooh, I got a credit card. I got I got a $9,000 credit line. Ooh, I can go out and have this. I can get that. I've always wanted." No, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. What that means is you, John Doe, meet Mary Doe, whatever, such and such company trust you with that amount of their money is what they're doing. It's
Right.
it's their money that you're using. They're loaning you that amount of money that they expect you to pay back.
That's right.
So don't think, ooh, I can have it all. Yeah, you can have it all, but can you pay it back? That's the thing. So
That's right. Not everybody is a responsible card holder. And
no,
they could get into, like, we don't even have to get into it, that rabbit hole of debt. And nobody wants that.
no, but normally under most circumstances, yes. A credit card originally was not designed for people to go into debt. It was not designed. That's not the intention of it, although people exploited it and made it that way. But it is true, though, that a credit card really is sort of a short term type thing. I've already mentioned time and time again, wait until your statement prints. That buys you an extra month. It helps you out on paying, divide it up how many weeks, put that amount on it each week. It's like a small layaway. And then come the last week, or if you want to pay it off a little sooner, you can, and you wipe out what you owe, and it's a done deal, over and done with. So,
You know what else, Steve? That's brilliant. But you know what else? A lot of people, they entertain the thought of getting a card. They're so hip hop happy. Ask them, how much is your interest on that card? No, you must know those things. That's very, very important.
yeah, it is. You have to, you definitely have to know your interest rate. And do keep in mind, these days, especially, a lot of changes have taken place in credit cards. They won't even send you any type of notification ahead of time. Hey, we're about to make a change to your credit APR. We're going to raise it 2%, 3%.
Right.
They can do that at any time at their discretion. So you got to really keep tabs, keep an eye on all of your accounts, watch what's going on. Um, I always try, if possible, whichever credit card's got the lower APR for purchase, that's the one I normally use more than the others.
Hmm.
The other ones, I'll put something on it, but it won't be a drastic amount. 10, $20, boom, pay
Right.
it off, show some activity. That's what they want. They want you to show some activity on the card. If you don't after a certain amount of time, within a year or two, they can close the card out, and you know that's the end of it. But you know what? This was a very good topic to talk about. I don't know how many
I
people
agree.
I don't know how many people know about that annual credit report, but remember, it's not going to show a credit score. That's another thing altogether. But it does allow you to look at your credit report, what's existing, what you've had. If something is on there that's incorrect, they have a wrong address, wrong house number, anything that's incorrect, you have the opportunity to fix it.
There you go.
And if you have to have anything fixed, if you find something wrong at Equifax or any of the bureaus, unfortunately, you have to call or get in contact with the bureau directly to have it fixed, just to let you know. I've been there, I've done it before.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. Like I said, there was a little mix up. I got crossed in my mind on the days, but I know you guys enjoy listening to us, and we ever so dearly appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude with a little music, and we'll see you guys back here next time. Hope all of you have a great rest of your day and a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.